What we have today here are gaming furnitures. So this desk here is a gaming desk and it has the name GD160. I think it stands for Gaming Desk 160 in terms of its length or width? Length, whatever, this way. And then the chair here is the Calibre X1C, which is also another gaming chair, but it's a real upgrade over the Caliber R2, yeah, the purple one that we usually sit on. So let's take a quick look at what these two gaming furniture has to offer. So let's start on with the table first. So this table here, when we first got the box for this table, it's actually not this long because we have a split down in the middle here, and during the assembly process we will have to go through the entire user manual step by step, assemble properly this middle bar here so that it wouldn't topple. So in terms of its rigidity, of course it can support 49-inch monitors like this as well, super wide monitors, and so far we don't have any issues of it sagging, and yeah, it's holding on really well. Pressing on it feels real sturdy as well, so no problems there. And it also has this included desk mat. Yeah, it's a custom desk mat which also has this kind of curvature to accommodate for this as well, for both sides, both the inner part and also the outer part. And it is also meant for you to use it as, of course, a mouse pad and also to cover up this seam here. So that's good. But in terms of longevity, if you want to change this to something else, then that might be an issue since you need this special cut. The installation process of this table though, you will have to do a little bit of veto power over the user manual because the sequence that Cooler Master provided in the user manual is a bit not ideal for us, because for us, we will have to assemble the leg entirely first, including the feet that you have to screw on before actually installing the tabletop. But the user manual tells us to do the other way around. So yeah, it's okay. The user manual is actually okay. It's just some parts of it is a bit weird. And oh, one more thing is that if you want to adjust the height of this table, you can, but it's a very manual process, and I would prefer you to know what height you want before putting stuff on the table during the installation process. So you see the two screws there on each side, those are your height adjustment screws. You have to unscrew the whole thing, lift up the entire table, or if you flip it around, lift up the leg and then screw it back in. There's no motor, there's no button. Cable management is also a bit lacking for this table alone because we only have one tray at the back which faces to the wall part, and the Z depth between this height here and the bottom of the cable management tray is not that much. So for us here in Malaysia, we are actually using UK plugs. They are quite bulky and each plug plugs in 90 degrees. It's not like those UK or US plugs that plugs in straight on. So if we use some 3-prong plugs, those splitters, then it will take up a lot of space, and the Z depth is not that ideal. And also there's no cable management loop, so we cannot loop any cables through, or maybe just tie in the cables properly onto the cable management tray, and everything just sits there and hopefully it doesn't slide out. One more thing that I want to highlight is that I'm not sure if this is happening to all units of the GD160 or only this unit, is all these curvature points here, the lamination doesn't seem to be done real well. It's a bit sharp, it's a bit grindy, and I think if I use blunt nail, I can just scrub on this thing and polish it up. So that's something to keep note of, and yeah, this part is definitely damaged. Other than that, this table is aesthetically pleasing, and if you want to get the more higher end version with ARGB as well, you can. There is of course a light bar to make it even more gamer look, but the price of that table is definitely gonna go higher than this table. So for this table alone, the Cooler Master GD160 is priced at 1,199 ringgit Malaysia, and for that price I would expect it to come with a cup holder or maybe even a headphone stand built under the table, like the first player, what's the table name again? Moto E. Yeah, that table that we reviewed not too long ago, that table is lower in terms of price, but it has more features. So I would expect Cooler Master to have the same, but they don't. So one great thing about this Cooler Master GD160 is of course the inclusion of this mouse pad. As highlighted by the camera guy, he really wanted us to say that this mouse pad is real good because it covers the entire table from edge to edge technically, which is better than the Moto E, first player Moto E, that only covers the middle part, the middle seam here. So okay, valid. Now onwards to this chair. This is the Cooler Master X1C, is it? Caliber X1C. Okay, I think it's better if we get a comparison.
I don't have microphone though.
I don't care. Just sit there as model. One immediate thing that we realize is that this new chair has a very different material. So this is entirely made out of PU leather and it's black and purple in color, but this one is grey and black in color. Light grey. And then when you touch this material, it's you know this typical PU leather with a layer of oil on top. This one is, I don't know what this is. It's carbon fiber textured cloth, and then this one is entirely made out of cloth. Is it linen? I don't know.
I would just call it fabric.
Fabric. Okay, fabric, fair enough. And overall, I really prefer the X1C over this in terms of its quality. Cushion is also very important. That seat on this chair is a lot more, it doesn't actually support you.
Soft.
Yes. Once you sit on it, you sink into the seat. But for the X1C, this one actually supports you. We just show you B-roll of us pushing into the cushion. And then one thing that I don't know why Cooler Master did this is actually to hide the strap of this lumbar support. So it's, you can see right, when we lift up the lumbar support, the strap is hidden under this back part here. So the buckles are still accessible, but you need to have real good dexterity with your hands. That's all I can say. This pillow support is, the shape is different, so if you want the shoulder support, that one is better. This part, if you want to support your back here. So yeah, the old one is better if you want that support, but the new one is more traditionally very basic gamer chair kind of pillow. One more big upgrade is of course the armrest on the X1C. So now, what is this again? 4th dimension?
4D.
4D. Okay, 4D. So we're breaking time and space here. We can go up and down. That one can also go up and down, real typical. Left, right. Okay. And then more dimensions on this X1C is because we can go front and back. That one, you can't do anything. And then one more thing is go left and right. In and out.
In and out, but this one also cannot. This is 2D. 4D.
Yeah. So 2 more dimensions to break time and space. Real good. These 2 pedals at the bottom here is a bit weird. So to adjust the inclination and also the, what's that again? Reclination. Yeah. So it's a bit weird. They're both hidden underneath and then they are kind of in the way of something else. So kind of difficult to get by, but you can.
That base is better.
This base is better. Even the wheels are better. Higher quality for this X1C. And overall, how much is this chair again? Let me check. 500 ringgit price difference between this R2 and the X1C. Do you think it's worth it? I think yes. Especially since these seats are, you know, if you work in front of your PC, you need to sit in front of it for long periods of time. So getting a good seat is definitely worth however much cents they want. And PU leather, of course, over the years, it will turn into dust or start to peel off, but for this kind of fabric it won't happen, so that's also another plus point. So for that 500 ringgit, I think it's quite worth it. So one thing that makes the Cooler Master X1C, right, yeah, Caliber X1C different from its competitors is that the material on this chair here is a lot more different compared to many other chairs in the market right now, which are mostly PU leather. This one is fabric. And you can get some of the non-PU leather chairs, for example, Noble chairs. Those are real leather. And I don't know if any other brands offer fabric like this one. Some of them offer the Herman Miller type of net at the back. So some might prefer that, some might not. If you want cushion, it's always this kind of fabric covered foam at the insides. So yeah, for the price, I would still say X1C is worth it. Table, questionable. So that's it. That's all we have to share with you about these two gaming furnitures from Cooler Master. The GD160 table, I got that right this time. So one thing I also want to highlight is that it's 160 in this dimension, 75 in this dimension, but it's not entirely 75 centimeters throughout. Like for example, this indentation here on both sides, so you'll be sacrificing like 10 cm or something like that. So yeah, and the Cooler Master X1C, this is a good chair, and that's all we have to share with you today. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys next time. What am I doing?